All right, folks, we are live. I'm your host, Dash V, and the reason that I'm saying we is because with me today is my son, Crowded Attic 400.
After finally avoiding retro reload deliberately, I'm kidding, not deliberately. And
Why would any
stuff
human
came up.
being do that? This is an excellent show.
I know, but after being gone for a while, I'm back.
Yeah, yeah. So we're glad to have you. Glad to have you back. Jeremy is out today. Jeremy wanted to be with us, but he was not able to make it. Um, so yeah. But that is okay. So we were gonna hear his thoughts in response to my comments last week about me not liking the N64 controller. But since he's not
There's a
here, I just
specific way you hold it, but still, it's one of the most awkward controllers I've ever held.
yeah. I think the only way I've ever really held it that I liked was holding it in a way where I was ready to throw it like a boomerang. That's the only satisfying way to hold that. Now, speaking though of waiting a long time and having it be really difficult to find satisfaction, Sony announced last week that they're doing crossplay in beta for Fortnite. Is that right?
Yeah, they are. And I've been playing with my friend Connor S. Grant. That's his gamer tag. Um, he actually has a friend of his who plays on Xbox, and so now I'm able to play with his friend. And so I added him on that Epic Friends. So now whenever Connor or his friend is on, I can play around with them, even though they're on even though one of them's on Xbox. And now because I have Xbox, and because this laptop of mine can connect to the Xbox, I can have at least 3 players, as long if somebody uses a Switch, play Fortnite at my house now.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty cool. I know that you and I used to
I
play
just I just gotta
Fortnite.
find Crowded Attic on Epic Friends. I must be spelling it incorrectly because it's not showing up.
There's no K, my friend. There's no K.
What?
There's no K in attic.
I didn't say there's a K.
No, you said that you probably were spelling it wrong. A common misspelling is CK instead of it's just C. But anyway, that was meant to be a tip. Sorry, didn't mean to derail the whole entire show. So folks, we're gonna be talking a bit about more a bit about what our thoughts are regarding crossplay. Being experimented on between the PlayStation 4 and other platforms. We're also gonna be talking about Fortnite Season 6. So stick around if either of those things interest you. Before we get to those, though, I want to cover pickups. I had one arrive today. Woo! I'm pretty excited about.
Oh
Mega
yeah,
Man.
that's cool. I read about it in Game Informer.
Yeah, Mega Man 11. So this is pretty good. I've actually got the Mega Man 1 and 2 regular collections, and I've got the Mega Man X 1 and 2 collections, both on the Xbox One as well as on the Switch. I have 9 and 10 on the Xbox One, but not on the Switch. So having 11 is going to be pretty cool, actually. I'm looking forward to playing this game. So it's supposed to be a love letter to the original Mega Man's, but you could tell the graphics. They've definitely taken some liberties in updating the graphics. So there's a playable demo if you want to just give it a try and see if it's for you. I have not yet. I downloaded the demo. Too busy adulting. Never got a chance to play it. So interesting side note. Thomas and I actually have been on a juice fast since Friday of last week, right, buddy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm loving most of the juices I'm drinking.
explain to folks that don't know that are watching. Explain what a juice fast is.
A juice fast is basically you'll need a juicer for it, but it's basically you don't eat any solid foods. Well, in my case, I'm eating like peanuts and other assorted nuts, so I don't lose weight. But it's basically it resets your body, allows you to lose a lot more weight pretty fast. Like it it basically has you grinding up vegetables and fruits in their purest form and drinking them up. So
Yep.
and
So some people use it for weight loss. That's a common thing that they use it for. Thomas and I are not of weight loss.
I'm using it for my chronic urticaria
Yeah, so
because
that's a hives condition for those of you that don't know. Thomas has got a situation where he'll break out into hives and sores all over his body just randomly. His eyes will get really puffy, his lips will get really puffy. That's why you only see him on the show kind of hit and miss. Um, but that and he can't tear himself away from Fortnite sometimes.
yeah,
But
I it's usually Tuesdays are usually the update days for Fortnite.
yeah. So in Thomas's case, the chronic urticaria, it's because of a autoimmune issue, right?
Yeah,
Your immune
stupid
system is
immune system.
hyperactive. So the thoughts here are we've already since last September, right?
Since last Halloween, that's
Yeah.
actually when it started.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just about a year ago. So we just started getting these hives and we thought maybe it was allergies and we got you tested for all kinds of different different they put the grid on your back, right? And they tested for all the different
yeah,
allergens and everything, and nothing triggered it. We tried different foods, nothing triggered it. Um, we've been on everything over the counter and even prescription, everything from steroids to chemo, and nothing's really made a dent. And the highs would just get worse and worse, and the swelling would just get worse and worse. So you're looking pretty good now, though, my friend.
yeah.
So could be a coincidence. It's
It
too
better
soon to
not be a
tell.
coincidence, or
One
else
of the things, though.
I'm gonna scream as loud as I did when I freaking won Fortnite, but in anger, not excitement.
So explain to him a bit why are we doing this juice fast? Is it like a wonder fix? Do you think?
Well, it's more of a lot of a lot of the times the causes for a lot of autoimmune diseases is actually because a lot of people are getting too many calories and are eating a lot of junk food like like I used to be eating burgers every other week and like in
I don't think
what
burgers every other week is necessarily a problem. Some people eat them every day,
yeah
every day. But to your point,
yeah
like, did you have a lot of vegetables in with your
no
normal
not,
diet?
like I didn't I the thing is what a lot of people do is doctors will say eat the other foods in moderation, eat mainly vegetables. Like that's even what the my plate thing claims, eat lots of vegetables and fruits, put everything else in moderation. What a lot of other people tend to do, and sometimes this doesn't harm them as much, but in my case, um a lot of people will put fruits and vegetables in moderation, so they it's like reverse psychology. They told you to do
Yeah.
one thing and they do the exact opposite.
Yeah. Now, I mean, there's a taste thing to
So
it, right? There's the texture of it is kind of different. So you weren't really like a huge. I mean, it's not like you didn't eat any fruits or vegetables, but
yeah,
you're not a huge fan of like large quantities of fruits and vegetables, right?
I absolutely hate large quantities of it.
You hate
But
even small quantities, but you'll reluctantly do small quantities, right?
yeah,
So, but in terms of the juice, though, the tell them the kind of juices that we've had, like the different fruits and vegetables that we've had in these juices.
well, for the first time, I actually liked beet juice, and then I started hating it. I've had carrot juices with carrots, juices with peppers. Although the peppers are way too strong. Juices with cucumber, juices with kale. Not for long
Turmeric.
though, because I absolutely hate kale. Turmeric,
Yep.
um, ginger.
Spinach.
I really like ginger, and I actually, if for those of you who are watching Dad's video thing, they upload to whichever social media thing you.
Those are only on Facebook, my friend.
Yeah, Facebook. Um,
Yeah.
he he did that.
Yeah, some folks have been following us on Facebook. I have a very limited following on Facebook. I only allow folks into the friends list that I've personally met in real life. So almost without exception. So if you're not on my Facebook, don't take it personally. I can't possibly add every person in the world, but feel free to chat us up in the chat here, chat up on the Twitter. We've also got a public Facebook page, Dash V Productions, where you can find some of our older father son stuff that we've done before Retro Reload existed. So you can interact with us and through a variety of different public mechanisms. But privately, I was kind of posting our journey and maybe some of those clips that all members of the family agree to. Maybe some of those clips I'll post more publicly later so people can kind of see our journey. But we started Friday. We're on a 10-day juicing fast. So we're having juice for breakfast, for lunch, and then we're doing a mid-afternoon snack as a juice, and then we're doing dinner as a juice, and then we're doing a kind of like a night snack as a juice, and mixes of fruits and vegetables, various different things, um, celery, zucchini,
I'll be right
spinach,
back.
peaches, pears.
One of the cats is stuck in my room.
Okay. So it's been interesting, and he's had a bit of relief from his hives. But that could be coincidence. So we weren't planning this as a wonder cure. This is more of a, how do we get used to fruits and vegetables, and having them be a regular part of our life, of our body, um, and of our diet. So I was just telling them that we were just really looking at this as a way to integrate fruits and vegetables more regularly and more enjoyably into our lives. So we've tried a bunch of different, I think like 15 different recipes.
I like the majority of them, ironically. Mom is absolutely hating them.
Yeah,
It was,
mom's not having a good time with a bunch of these recipes. I don't
I
really
thought
mind them, but
I thought she was gonna be like I was, where I like over half the juices.
yeah,
No, she's like what she thought I was gonna be,
yeah.
wanting to freaking quit after 3 days.
Yeah, so folks, if you're wondering
So
a bit about what we're talking about actually a movie that you can watch. You can check it out. It's free on the Roku channel. Disclaimer: in my day job, I work for Roku. But if you have the Roku channel, you can either view it on the web if you have got a Roku account, or you can view it on your laptop or your tablet computer. I think it works on there. If you've got a web browser, you should be able to watch the Roku channel. The reason that I'm plugging it is because there's a movie on there that's currently free that you can watch called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And as you notice, neither myself nor Thomas are fat. Neither do we look sick. And I don't believe either one of us is nearly dead, are we?
well, sometimes at night I'm nearly dead because I have low blood sugar, and if
Wow.
it's not treated, I start dying.
Yeah,
But
but you're not. I mean, right? An alarm
yeah,
goes off, we adjust, right, and then you kind of go.
yeah.
You're not like in a death spiral, I guess, kind of thing. But I would encourage you, even if you aren't in a death spiral, even if you don't need to lose weight, if you're one of those people that's not like a fruit and vegetable person, I'm not saying don't ever eat steak again. I fully intend next Monday to rip into a nice big juicy steak.
After I wanna buy a big burger, or actually no, I wanna get mozzarella sticks. In other words, I wanna load my plate with junk food, but we have to. Dad, the thing is, next Monday we do have to slowly reintroduce foods.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Well, in my case, I don't really need to do that much, but
but
you
now
need
as
to do it.
we reintroduce the old foods though, right?
Yeah,
I certainly plan on, 2 to 3, 2 minimally, shakes a day, I think, of fruit and vegetable. Like a
oh,
vegetable.
juices. I thought you said milkshakes.
No,
I
no, no,
thought
no,
that's what
no,
you
no, no,
meant.
no. Juice. If we do a shake, maybe more of like a blending type of thing. Although there's a difference between juicing and blending. You actually preserve more of the nutrients with juicing than with blending. It's
Yeah.
actually scientifically proven, folks. I can include a link down in the doodly doo later that actually some really smart folks in Australia, in collaboration with different government health agencies, actually confirmed it. It is healthier to juice than to actually do the smoothie thing. And well, I say healthy, I mean you preserve more of the nutrients and deliver more of them to your body juicing than you
So
do with smoothies. So, although you will get more fiber with smoothies, so um, it depends
smoothies are
on
more
what
filling.
you want to do. But even if you don't have weight to lose, even if you're not in a death spiral, I don't think you're ever
Still,
hurt
like you don't
by.
have to go on the diet, but I mean, it's a good idea to at least drink some juices each day.
Yeah, I don't think it ever hurts you to try to think a bit more healthier and, ask yourself the question, are you getting enough? If you kind of have days where you feel really blah, maybe the blah is that you're feeling depressed or maybe the blah is that, you're kind of sick and bored of food and things like that. I strongly encourage you to try this fast. You don't have to do it for 10 days. You could do it for, a day, you could do it for 3 days. I guarantee you by day 2, day 3, you'll be able to make a huge list of all the foods that you can't wait to eat again. And you might find out that there's to like Thomas said, you might find out that there's some ways that you can consume the fruits and vegetables in more larger, healthier doses than you had previously in a way that you really enjoy. So I've really liked some of the shakes, like the one that we had for dinner today. I wasn't sure about it the first time that we had it, but the second time, like when we had it Sunday, I think I wasn't really sure. But when we had it yesterday, I'm like, this is awesome. This is a really good shake. So, um, but that's enough. That's enough about that. That's us adulting in the show. So sorry to shock people. I thought this was a video game show, and they're talking about
Yeah, I
juicing.
thought this was like honestly, I'm starting to think we should rename the show to be retro so juicing reset.
Juicing with Dash V, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but again, on the Roku channel, you can watch it for free on the web or on your Roku device. The movie is called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. It's a really good movie about this guy that had similar conditions to my son.
He literally had the exact same condition, chronic
Yeah,
urticaria.
and
But he also was had way more weight than I did. So
yeah, he did. And but this other guy that made the movie, he lost like I think 1 to 200 pounds, something like that. And he
yeah.
ended up, yeah, he fasted for like 60 days. It was kind of insane. And now the guy's totally jacked. He is. He's like his biceps like bigger than my head. Um,
No, that's exaggerating.
no, I don't know, folks. Watch the movie. Watch the movie. Get your measuring tape. Is Joe's bicep bigger than my head? And I wanted to mention that Joe, the guy that made the movie, last bit, and then we'll move on to gaming. I promise. But he's got a website called rebootwithjoe.com where he gives a
The
bunch of
rest
different.
Yeah, recipes, and we're using all those recipes, and then
Yeah,
there's like a
yeah, and
little I
it's
believe there's a forum. So
yeah. There's parts of his website that you can pay for to access to like kind of talk to him, talk to the community, get access to like healthcare people, like nutritionists and all this other stuff.
but there's
We
also
just
parts of it that are free, like what we're doing with which is
yeah.
like the free diets and juices and recipes and all that stuff.
Right. So if you want to try it out, see if it helps you make the first couple days you're not going to feel better. You're going to be very hungry, you're going to be very tired, you're going to be very grouchy. About 4 or 5 days. We're on day 5 and Thomas, how do you feel?
I'm not even hungry. I mean, I feel sick, but that's just because I'm kind of sick right
Yeah,
now.
he hasn't been feeling well in general. But so and also you actually gained like starting Monday because we didn't want you or I to lose weight. Started moving in like mixed nuts and
Yeah,
things like
because I
that.
lost like 5 pounds in less than 2 days, which is I
Yeah,
didn't even exercise.
a lot of that is just your body getting rid of,
Flushing
you
all that
know,
crap that's in me.
quite literally. And it will be quite
Oh,
interesting colors too. Um,
yeah.
but so the first couple days are going to be pretty rough. Not going to lie to you. You will drop some pounds. If that's what you want to do, it is safe to continue the diet. Generally speaking, if you've got extra pounds to kind of pull from, if you've got fat reserves that you've been storing up, you can kind of use those. If you
Yeah.
don't, then you're going to want to integrate something with some kind of protein to keep
Like
calories in
nuts.
you. Yeah, like mixed nuts,
And it
cashews,
has to be healthy.
things like
Like
that. Yeah. Don't
dairy, you can't have dairy yet.
Yeah, don't have dairy, don't have meats. But if you want to introduce like mixed nuts, almonds, things like that, that's definitely weight. Thomas, that was the only change that he made, and
Yeah,
he gained like a pound and a half. So I have yet to lose weight. Um,
because you've been eating
yeah.
salads and all that.
Because for lunch I've been having salad and a bowl of fruit. Not like a huge heaping salad, but like a modest sized salad and a modest sized bowl of fruit. Physical, and then every other meal, breakfast, dinner, evening snack has all been juice. So There's
All
ways that you
right.
can tailor it. So I highly recommend it. Rebootwithjoe.com has lots of recipes. You can give it a shot. Also has suggestions for the type of juicer you should get. Um, but speaking of though, right? It kind of felt like getting crossplay on the PS4 was kind of like juicing, right? It was kind of like shoving a cucumber through a juicer. It felt like it took forever for it to arrive, but now that it
It's
has, have you
because
played already?
Sony was too competitive. Literally, one of the only reasons they even decided they're going to crossplay with Fortnite was because there's too many people leaving PS4, so they could go to Xbox. So PS4, in order to not lose their customers, were like, "Fine, we'll do crossplay."
Now,
I'm
now
still waiting for.
I
There's a
can't.
lot of people still waiting for them to do Minecraft and do crossplay with all sorts of other games that have crossplay.
So I have to call you on this though, buddy. I have to call you on this. Like, do you have where's your actual information? Like, I'm gonna ask you to cite sources on these droves of people leaving PS4 because I don't buy that for a minute. But did you read this somewhere or did you is it just like a personal observation or
It's an observation I've noticed because one of the things about Xbox is there's a lot more people playing on that. From the reason I don't really play on Xbox very much is because a lot more people play on it. So you have a lot of your games, in my experiences anyway, will be full of 100, like completely full. And part of the reason that there's a lot of, and this is from not only my experiences playing on Xbox, but also my experiences playing crossplay. There's a lot of noobs, as in people who are either new to the game or suck, or both. In Xbox, there's less noobs on PlayStation 4, and there's a lot more noobs on Xbox. Like
mm.
I'd play battles, and there'd be like people that they'd have their backs to you trying to like build ramps, and
See, I would
all it would
actually
take.
I would really enjoy that because that gives old people like me an actual shot at the game, right? Like no pun
And what's
intended.
cool is next time we play, you I'm gonna have you host. You get to play on Xbox. I mean, I know you can do it,
Yeah.
and then I get to play on PlayStation 4 because I got all my stuff I want
I gotta tell
to
you, one of
keep.
the things this is one of the reasons why I did not enjoy playing Fortnite, right? Like the only real way that Thomas and I could play Fortnite together in the same house. I have we have a PlayStation 4 Pro as well as a PlayStation 4, but here's the deal, right? Like I don't want to downgrade. I don't want to play a game on less than the PlayStation Pro when I could be playing it on the PlayStation Pro. If I do through some crazy fluke right, start putting the smackdown on Crowded Attic 400, I do not want to hear him complaining about how, oh, it's because you're a cheater because you're playing on the PlayStation Pro. So it was one of those I'd be damned if I did, damned if I didn't type situation.
I'm not gonna call you a cheater.
So, but
The
no, you know what I
only
mean.
reason I
You know,
call you a
I'm
cheater
playing
is,
on a way more powerful console, right?
in fact, actually, you're
It's
gonna be
kind of
playing on the
cheating.
Xbox One X.
Well, so here's the deal, right? So I will be playing on a slightly more powerful console, yes, but I'll be able to play. We can both play in 4K because I can play on the Xbox One X, which we
I
also
play it
have.
in dynamic 4K,
So
which
yeah,
is
so
literally worse than 4K.
right.
Nice work
It's
on that, Sony.
quasi 4K. It's semi 4K. It's the Diet Coke of 4K.
It's the 99% almost 4K. 4K.
1080p plus, not quite 4K enough.
It gets into 4K for 1 millisecond and then it drops.
Right. Right. When you're on the bus, right, it's in 4K, and then as you hit the ground, it like just drops. So no, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to the fact that we could both be playing on. We do have multiple 4K TVs in the house. Thank you, Roku. And we do have multiple 4K consoles, right? So before we were doing it on, you were playing on the Xbox One X, and I was playing on the Switch.
Which
And
I offered to play on the Switch instead of him
but my
because
Switch, because it's broken in that weird way, like it's yeah. So my controllers are still, I got to get them replaced. It's a long thing. If you've been watching the show, you already know. But so yeah, I didn't mind playing it on the Switch. Actually, I kind of enjoyed being on the couch and playing while
yeah,
you
but
were playing.
I
But it's a
mean,
different experience if I'll be like up in the game room on this 4K TV, and if you're down there in the living room
we could do
on that 4K
headsets or
TV,
something.
we could
We
do
could do
headsets, and then you
headsets.
don't have to worry about me like peeking at the screen to try to
Now
figure.
the one problem though is I've noticed you need to get your own headset.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
if you're gonna play on Xbox One, you're
I
gonna
have
need
my own headset, remember? I have the same exact make and model that you have, my friend.
yeah, that's the PlayStation headset. It doesn't work on
I
Xbox.
might be able to rig something up.
It doesn't work on Xbox. I've tried it
I
before.
might be able to I might be able to rig something up, my friend.
Not without with Microsoft banning you or something.
I'm a tech guy. I don't think they ban
They
me.
won't. You'd have to do something called jailbreaking, which would
No,
be
I don't think I'll have to jailbreak either. I think I can figure it out.
all
I think I
right.
can figure it out. I'll give
Whatever.
it a look.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of Fortnite,
but to your point though, so you've noticed personally that there appears to be a difference in community from Xbox One slash Switch slash PC space
yeah.
and from PlayStation space. So some of that is going to bleed over now. You are going to have some of those people now on PlayStation, but I think overall
Now
you're going
the
to get a
thing
more
is,
well-rounded experience.
actually, one of the things they did though for PC because mouse and keyboard makes you extremely good. I've already played with my friend Connor who plays on mouse and keyboard on PlayStation 4
Yeah.
enough to know this. Keyboard and mouse, like it's overpowered. There's a reason they have aim assist for controllers, guys.
Yeah.
Keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
Keyboard and mouse. But they designed it in a way where the only way you'll be able to play with keyboard and mouse people on PlayStation if they don't use it on PlayStation if they're like PC
Yeah.
is if they host. So if you host, they can join you, but it'll be on yours on PlayStation on console servers.
Gotcha.
It's just like with mobile because mobile is even at it's at
Can you select in the lobby whether or not you want games with the keyboard and mouse?
um not yet, but
Oh, okay. I'm sure
you
it'll be
have
a
to you
filter.
have to.
I'm sure it'll be a filter.
I hope so.
People are going to demand it. I would demand it. I think it's totally different when you're trying to out thumb warp somebody versus when you're using one of these. This is a superior form of control
Yeah, it
for those
is.
kind of
I
games.
know.
There's no doubt about it, no question.
So, but
So, but yeah,
on
big
my
fan of the
experiences,
crossplay, right?
I love the crossplay.
Yeah,
It's really good. Like
it's about damn time.
I was thinking it was gonna be something where like it would be really laggy. Like if you were to play Minecraft split screen PlayStation 3, it lags so hard it's unplayable.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be super laggy and like that connections would be completely garbage. But no, it's like I'm playing with my friend Connor
yeah,
on PlayStation 4 already. Like I the crossplay works
yeah.
really well.
And
They
now when you play with Connor, I could even sign in and join the ranks.
yeah, I guess you could.
So
Although Connor's gonna call you a noob
that's totally fine.
until you get better. And in fact, oh, I just figured my way out of 1v1 in Connor. He can 1v1 you and I spectate in
No, that's not
commentary.
happening. That is not happening. I don't think anybody 1v1ing me. Yeah, that's not
Although
gonna happen.
seriously, I've done it with
I
them.
think
I
I'll put
was
some people on
terrible.
your team.
I'm I'm actually I 1v1'd him a few weeks ago on Playground.
Yeah.
And by the way, Playground doesn't suck. If you say it sucks, then you must be thinking of it in a different way. It's really good for improving.
I really enjoy Playground because it gave me an actual chance to learn how the hell to play the game. Because for me, it was no fun like starting a game. To your point, Thomas, starting a
Yeah,
game, landing into a match that's got a whole bunch of experts in it. I get like owned like 5 seconds into the game. Like I haven't even figured out like what button to press to like jump, and somebody shot me in the face like 2 seconds after I landed. So
I mean, seriously, I have a lot of experience in the game, and I still get that's
yeah.
happening.
So it was nice to have the sandbox area now, the playground area where everything's in there. The whole map is there. You can get to know the map, get to learn
You
all the
got an
different
entire hour to do
weapons.
it. You can respawn unless you die in the storm, but you got an hour before you die in the storm.
Yeah, it's a pretty fantastic way. So anybody that's been earlier complaints, like months ago, people complaining there's no tutorial and this and that, like they were legit
Like,
complaints.
yeah, there
But I think
were.
a
And
lot of that's moot
I
now with
thought there
Playground.
was going to be a tutorial. No, there's only a tutorial on Save the World,
Yeah.
which is just for that mode. Like, although I do wish they'd added a tutorial, this one, like, you can. It still allows people to figure out what the heck they're doing.
So I'm checking it out. We got quite of a quiet day in the chat. Last week and the week before, we had quite a busy chat room.
It's
This week
because
is
of
kind of
me.
quiet.
It's because of me. Every there's only one time we actually had somebody in the chat, and I was in
Yeah.
here.
I do see we
So
got live viewers though, so I want to encourage our live viewers. You know, if you're watching, don't forget that if you go to YouTube, the YouTube webpage proper, there is a live
how
chat.
do I
You
see
can.
it?
It should be to the right of your screen, my friend. I popped up the major chat thing, unless you full screened your window there.
No, I
Right,
and what sucks is I
right to your
can't
right,
even.
right to your right. There should be a separate
Oh,
window, my friend.
yeah,
Right
I
next to
see
you.
it.
So, but yeah. So if folks want to chat, like, what are your impressions? Retro Sports Gamer says Dash V. What do you
Oh
think
yeah.
of NES Switch Online? So Retro Sports Gamer, thanks for watching us and dropping in. I gave my thoughts on NES Switch Online last week, last episode. But I'll give you a instant replay to use sports terminology. So
Oh,
a condensed instant
okay.
replay. I think if you're gonna get Nintendo Switch Online, get it for the year. Don't get it monthly. Don't get it quarterly. The best deal is definitely for the year.
Yeah,
Um,
because you're saving a lot more money. It's actually way more expensive to buy it monthly, and this is the case with a lot of stuff. They'll do the buy it for a year.
yeah,
So
that's okay that you missed it. We can cover it
that
again.
that's
So
totally okay. I've missed so many episodes, and I'm part of the show.
he lives in my house and he's missed the show,
I
right?
know.
Come on, Thomas. I need my views and my likes to go up. I should have at least 3 guaranteed likes. Myself, you, and your
Um,
mom.
well, I
But
can't like or
anyway,
say anything in the live chat because it claims I don't have an account, but I do have
that's
an
true.
account.
So
So
yeah, back to
anyway,
Nintendo Switch Online though. So the $20 for a year is the best deal. The being able to upload your saves to cloud is awesome, but here's something to know. Just because you added, paid for, and downloaded Nintendo Switch Online does not automatically mean that your games are syncing up with the cloud. Like you have to explicitly press the start button on each game, go to cloud or save management, and you have to explicitly tell it, hey, I want you to upload my current save to cloud.
yeah,
After
retro
that
sports
point,
gamer.
it'll
Switch
be
makes it a pain to connect to play a game with someone online. Yeah, I know. I actually one of my neighbors got a Switch instead of an Xbox. He was gonna ask me, and well, I wasn't able to answer him on time, and so he ended up. His dad bought him a Nintendo Switch. It's extremely hard to play online. Like, I mean, honestly, the only easiest part really is playing crossplay. Playing crossplay with Switch is technically, in some cases, from what I've seen my dad doing, easier than playing with people online with Switch
now this was
because of Epic
before.
Friends on Fortnite.
Yeah, now this is before Nintendo Switch Online. So something that I need to
Uh,
take a look at, and maybe we'll do this weekend, is I need to take a look at whether or not the integration with Fortnite has become more difficult or less difficult with Nintendo Switch Online. I'm hoping that it's completely unaffected because, like you said,
yeah,
it was
because they
pretty
have a
painless to
separate friend
just,
system,
yeah,
Epic Friends.
it was
So
pretty painless to kind of sign in and do everything. So I will say the game collection. Um, I guess I'm not the best.
no messaging or even pre-made messages to contact friends to the console.
Yeah, it does force a workaround.
Really? That is
So
complete bullcrap.
I will say you can see just off to the left of me, or right, I guess, depending on how you're viewing the show. You'll see a giant stack of NES games.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Those aren't my only NES games. I've got more NES games behind the Atari Jaguar, but I was hard pressed to really just about every single one of the games that's currently on Nintendo Switch Online, I already have in physical form, so I can already play them on my Retron 5 and on my original NES console and stuff like that. So, what was really neat though is I did enjoy River City Ransom a lot. I actually played it until I beat it. Part of that was because I've been missing the hell out of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, and then the other part of it is, and which is a love letter to River City Ransom. The other part of it was that River City Ransom was such a breeze to play. Like it's a password save based game, but you have save states on the Nintendo Switch Online versions of the game. So it was really nice is being able to have that convenience of, okay, save my progress. Because River City Ransom is kind of a beat 'em up, but you also level up the characters
Yeah.
as you play.
And
So
also,
it was
isn't the
nice
save
to.
thing, can't you just, like, load right after you die?
You could. I didn't really do that though. What? And I don't know
Well,
if it's
if
the
you do,
Nintendo
good.
Switch Online version only, but this one it didn't seem like when you die, you simply go back to the last checkpoint that you're at, and you lose half your money. I don't know what happens if your money gets all the way to zero. I didn't have that happen, but I must have died. No lie. I died like 30, 40 times in this game, and I did not see a game over screen. So it did not look like, to me, it didn't feel like that there was a need to kind of reset.
Yeah,
Sometimes it was a little annoying if I lost, like toward the
half
end
of
when I'm
his
grinding to get like a
like,
ton of
he was
money.
trying to get this super overpowered item, and then
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
kept dying repeatedly.
Yeah. So I would say for the ability to cloud save, $20 a year is a great deal for Nintendo Switch Online because it's the only way you're going to be able to back up your saves. Just make sure that when you get it, remember that it doesn't back them up for you automatically. You have to, for each game, enable it. And then every time you put a new game in, you got to remember enable it.
Yeah.
Once you do that though, it's great. The game collection, it's decent. If you don't have a giant stack of games like I do, if you don't have a working NES or Retron 5 like I do, I think that it's decent. But you also got to remember it's not like Virtual Console. I think the quality is just as fine. The quality is comparable to Virtual Console on like say the Wii U or the Wii. But the reason I say it's not the Virtual Console is because on
It's
Virtual
like a
Console,
subscription, isn't it? Virtual Console, you
yeah,
keep it and basically keep it.
yeah,
I wouldn't say forever, but you
Which,
keep it
yeah, for as long as
pretty
your
much.
console works, you have the game. Per it. So you pay like on Virtual Console, you pay $5, $6, whatever a game, and you have it until your console right dies.
Yeah,
On this
this one it's a
one,
subscription
it's a
from
subscription. Yeah, it is.
which basically means if your subscription's up, no more NES
Yeah.
games for
And I don't
you.
see a way to change that. I don't see a way to say, hey, I want to buy this game for $1. Now maybe that'll happen. I was actually checking now that we flipped over into October. I was hoping that we would see some kind of
The
change in the
basic
store,
features Nintendo holds
but
back prevents the Switch from being the ultimate gaming console. Yeah, I mean, not
I
being
gotta
able to buy your virtual consoles, that's so lame.
I do have to say though, Retro Sports Gamer, I know that you've been watching the show for a while, so maybe you've heard this from me last year. I got a lot of flack from people last year. I kept saying toward the end of 2018, holiday season 2018, Switch is going to be a great console. And I said that multiple times and people, got upset and said I was like, pissing on Nintendo and everything. I was a day one, like I pre-ordered the Switch with Breath of the Wild, right? I was a launch party member there, but all these remakes and everything just weren't cutting it. I can say now with Nintendo Switch Online finally being here, so Nintendo finally having a way for us to back up our save games from our consoles, having a really good library of third-party titles. The first-party titles, I'm still waiting for Nintendo to make original stuff and not just ports of Wii U titles. Um,
Yeah, I mean they did make Super
but
Mario Odyssey, but
yeah, Super Mario Odyssey, I think, is
that's
the only game that we've had so far that hasn't really been a port. I still count
yeah.
Mario Kart as a port. I'm still counting Smash as a port.
I mean there's
Breath of
too
the
many
Wild
Smash
was a
Bros.
port,
games.
let's be honest. They actually cut
Some
features from the
features.
Wii U version so that the Switch version would be not worse than the Wii U version. That no, it's true. They did that.
Seriously, wow.
Yeah, there was some things that were specific to the stylus and touchscreen that they, even though the Switch has a touchscreen, you can't use the touchscreen at the same time that you play on a TV. So they removed those features that required
So
uh,
then what is the
touchscreen
point
in
of
addition.
having a touchscreen if you can't
So
even use it?
they basically turned the Wii U version into the Switch version with slightly poorer graphics, is what they did.
Yeah.
So, but that said, still a fantastic game. I liked it. I enjoyed it. But there wasn't a lot that to do on the Switch that you hadn't done before. There was tons of indie games, but a lot of these games were not the best games ever. You had some real
Yeah.
good standouts like Blaster Master Zero. You had games like I Am Setsuna. You had games like Mighty Gunvolt Burst. Mighty Gunvolt Burst and Blaster Master Zero were exclusives to the Switch. Well, I think Blaster Master Zero you could always also get on the 3DS, but it was exclusive to Nintendo platforms. So, but now, I
Yeah.
mean, hey, why not play the Mega Man collection? Why not play games like Cat Story? Why not play games, like I Am Setsuna and things like that on the Switch? Like I said, I enjoy, even though it doesn't have the 4K graphics, I really enjoy being able to sit on the couch and take a peek at where Thomas is hiding out. Oh, he's in Dusty Divot. I guess I'm gonna go to Dusty Divot with a rocket launcher to say hi to
Dude,
my son.
dude, seriously, I know how to deal with rocket launchers. Like, honestly, they're the most predictable weapon in Fortnite. You got
Yeah.
the rocket, it's like, this is you and the rocket.
Yeah. So Retro Sports Gamer, I think I mentioned this a previous episode. He says
This is
that
it.
Breath of the Wild would have been better had the pad been optimized on the Wii U. It actually had been, and they had to take it out. They actually had Wii U. You aimed the bow and stuff like that with the controller, so you could actually have Link jump off his horse or whatever, and you could do the whole like when you go to shoot with a bow, it would go into slow motion, and you could aim with the screen as you would
Oh.
shoot the thing. They removed that feature when they made the Switch version because they didn't want to have people buying the Switch version and feeling like they lost something because they didn't get the Wii U version. So,
Hmm.
but that said, they might have patched it back in. I don't remember. But I don't think they launched with that. They developed the feature, spent a ton of time on it. That's part of why it released late in the first place. And then they spent all this time on it only to never really include that feature, unless they updated it in a recent, well, in one of the follow-up patches. I don't know. I never went back, and I didn't get the Wii U version when I found out there was going to be a Switch version. So, um, but back onto this topic of Fortnite, we're in season 6 now, right?
Yeah, season 6, and it did not make good first impressions. Battle
Okay,
Pass,
what was the issue?
way better. The Battle Pass is way better than the season 5 one. And I don't care if I get flack on that because that's just my opinion and also my friend Connor Rush Grant's opinion.
Yeah.
So it's opinions.
So what's the difference? Why the battle pass in season 5 being considered? What makes the season 6 battle pass so much weaker? Why? What's the big deal?
Well, no, the season 6 Battle Pass is better, I
Oh,
said.
it's better. What makes it better then? I'm sorry.
Well, so the skins are way better. I felt like the season 5 drift skin, there were just too many people running around with it, and it I felt like there's just too much. Like I felt like all the additions to it were just there as filler. Like, and that the only real transitions that were decent were from the first version of Drift to the max version of Drift. Like, because I felt like it all the others didn't really. Yeah. Oh, drive the cars. Like,
You can drive the golf carts.
yeah.
But yeah, that struck me too. That like I
One of
want
the
to get
reasons
into an RV. I want to get into an RV or a big rig and just start driving it around the map. I want to
One
do
of the
that.
reasons they don't want you to do that is because Epic Games actually said this. They say that on their site that one of the frequently asked questions is why aren't they going to add vehicles?
What's their
And
answer?
it's because they say that it's gonna it would ruin the having too many vehicles would kind of ruin the balance of Fortnite a bit. So, and
Hmm.
having vehicles like they already have to have golf carts. They already had to lower the spawns of golf carts because they had too many people using them.
Well, no, like I don't know that I necessarily agree with. I mean,
I
Epic
disagree.
is
I think
smart. They made
yeah,
Unreal Tournament, Championship Edition, which had vehicles and everything. So these folks have done this before. But I guess what I'm
yeah, but
thinking is in Unreal Tournament, all those vehicles were like totally fictitious, futuristic, vehicles and stuff. In this case, if it's an 18 wheeler, I'm not expecting I'm going to do 130 miles an hour in an 18 wheeler running people over. I'm expecting there's going to be a very
yeah.
limited set of roads and paths that I can go on that are going to leave me open to fire from snipers and grenades and rocket launchers and stuff like
So
that.
one
So
of
maybe
the
I can
reasons
run
why they
over a couple of
say
people and get like insta kills.
yeah,
I
I
don't
did
think I'm
run
going to
over
be
somebody. Like it does 20 damage to run somebody over
with a golf cart,
with an
right?
ATK.
Yeah.
That's what a golf cart is. That's one of the names they have for it.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons why it might ruin the balance is because of the building mechanic. Which I honestly I want the balance to be ruined. There's too many build battles. Too
Well,
many
I mean,
build
to
battles.
me, that would be so, wouldn't that be so awesome, Thomas? If you could
Like
grab a rig, right?
I
If you
know
could grab a rig and drive through a building
I
or
want to
drive
grab
through
a
somebody's
bus in
fort.
Tilted Towers and plow down as many of the people there as possible. I just want to see their I just
Yeah.
want to see I just want to see Crowded Attic eliminated like 50 people using the bus.
Now that said,
That
I
would
think
be
that
overpowered.
that would be overpowered, and I agree. Like if you could do stuff like that, that would be, I think, totally excessive. But I think if you were to do something like, drive through a building and take out a couple, somebody's hold themselves up in a building, right? And they're being a real jerk with a sniper rifle or whatever. It would be so sweet to just be able to drive a bus into the side of the building and bring the
I
whole building
know.
crashing down
I
and then
know.
own the guy with an SMG or something like that. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, because
That would
snipers,
be
I mean, the thing with snipers is like, you will have those people. They'll be out of nowhere. You'll be shooting somewhere, and boom, you're
man.
freaking third partied from some other guy on another team. Boom, he freaking does a magical lucky headshot.
So what remains to be seen is if Crackdown 3, which is an Xbox exclusive, if Crackdown 3 releasing next year actually brings some of those elements in with the destructible environments and the vehicles and things
Yeah.
like that. So that might actually be, you might, if you really like Fortnite, you might like Crackdown 3 when it comes out. I imagine it's going to be really buggy when they first launch it and all kinds of stuff. So you were saying season 6, how's it been in terms of bugs? Any bugs? Is it buggier than previous
Oh my
seasons?
gosh. It's like, first of all, they removed bouncers, not in playground mode though, but they vaulted them. That's so they temporarily, well, I hope they temporarily removed them. So now bouncers, C4, and impulse grenades are now, as we all know, vaulted. You can only access them in playground. And then, oh, I hate this. They
Did they
vaulted the
mention why
suppressed
they did that?
SMG. Not really. They didn't mention why they vaulted the drum gun or
Mm,
why they vaulted the revolver. Okay,
you seem pretty
sorry.
upset by that, my friend.
I know revolver was awesome,
Yeah,
and
okay, so he wants to find one of the golf carts. One of the places that you
yeah,
can find the golf carts.
is Lazy Links.
Yeah, so if you go to
They're
the golf
less.
course, land in the golf course, and there's tons of golf carts there.
Yeah, Snobby Shores. Actually, all the locations, even Tilted Towers, although they don't spawn in Tilted Towers that often, will
Yeah.
spawn them. If you want, you can. They'll every spawn location of golf cart will have a golf cart in it in
And
playground.
if
So
you
if you want to
lose the
screw
left
around
and
with
right
those,
bumper, you can drift.
yeah, I climb up mountains using golf carts using the drift.
Which is absolutely absurd. So,
But so yeah, they removed the suppressed SMG, which is one of the it was my favorite SMG besides the
yeah.
drum gun.
They reintroduced double pumping though for one of the weapons, didn't
Nope, they
they?
didn't. They didn't.
I thought you
Despite what
mentioned
all
it.
nope, they didn't. Despite what everybody says, they didn't reintroduce double pumping. I would
Mm,
they should. They should. Cause I
I heard a
mean
rumor they had, but
cause like they should if they should remove the 1 second countdown and make it take a bit longer for you to take out your shotgun. That's what they should do.
yeah.
So anyway, they also removed the LMG, which is really disappointing because they basically took out with the drum gun being gone, the suppressed SMG, and now the LMG being gone. There's there's not a lot of there's not a lot of decent machine guns in there anymore. Like the P90, its aim is terrible. The regular SMGs, like it's just the regular SMGs, they're hit or miss, but I'm not a fan of those. They basically they removed a lot of good weapons at the start of season 6. Um, glitches, it's pretty glitchy. Like I'm noticing there's a lot of shooting through walls and a lot of stuff like that. Like some like when you when you play something, there'll be a chance that one bullet will get in. There's also um a lot of the thing that they added in was shadow cubes
Yeah.
in the same day, and it's still they haven't added them back. For some reason, there's glitches with them, and so they had to remove them at the start of season 6, and that makes me mad. I'm like, I wanted to screw around with shadow stones like all those YouTubers who Connor keeps telling me about messing around
Yeah.
with them did. I want to mess around with shadow stones, and to find out that the one of the biggest consumables literally got removed and still is removed. Like, it's been about a week, and they still haven't brought them back. And I'm hearing rumors that they actually permanently vaulted them.
Yeah.
Those rumors might not be correct, but it's aggravating because like one of the glitches that actually happened was if you got hit by a grenade
Yes.
and it was in you were about and you just took a I think it was either just taking one or having the buff end for a shadow stone, it made you permanently invisible, which no, that's not a thing. Invisible people running around in Fortnite shotgunning people, that's not a thing. So they have to
Yeah.
fix that, but I don't know what other glitches and crap they have.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of the stuff with the sounds I didn't really they did stuff with sound effects I didn't really like with the gliders. Like
Yeah.
you can a mile away you can hear somebody pulling out their glider. I don't like that. Like really, is it like does the glider have to be louder than the double barrel shotgun? Because it feels
That's
like
a
it is
loud.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Like so and um and then there's just
Yeah.
a lot of bugs with building. Like sometimes I'll place something down, like
This
I'll
is all
finish throwing my
specific. This
grenades.
is all specific to season 6.
Yeah. I'll be
Okay.
throwing my grenades repeatedly. I'll get into build. It won't get me into build mode. And there'll be times where I'm in build mode and it's not like building anything at all. And
Yeah.
I end up getting killed by some shotgun butt face. Because
So then the summary then would be so Fortnite season 6, right? Highlights are cool. Hey, guess what? Now we can actually do crossplay with
yeah.
PlayStation folks on I think it's only Xbox and PC, right? I don't think you can crossplay with Switch users yet.
You can do it with Switch. You can do it with
Oh, you
everything.
can. Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
So
So
otherwise, Sony would have the problem people moving to Switch to get full crossplay, and
so now
Sony does not want to lose their player base.
So crossplay now
Cool
enabled with
battle
Fortnite
pass
on the
with some cool
PlayStation.
items.
Battle Pass sounds like the Battle
Battle
Pass.
pass, not
Yeah,
battle
the
pass.
Battle Pass is better in season 6. It sounds like
Yeah,
a bunch of bugs, but hopefully they're usually pretty good and pretty quick about sorting these bugs out.
although they're really
Um,
slow so far.
bunch of vaulted items. Maybe they'll come back. Maybe not. I guess we'll have to see.
Like they didn't really add
But
anything to compensate for it.
yeah, I
Like
guess that's the biggest
I mean,
problem.
they added in the suppressed Scar.
Yeah,
That thing is awesome. I love it. It's better than the Scar. It not only is
yeah.
it quiet, but if you crouch and aim, that's basically exact aiming.
Wow.
You you can get a lot of your shots in and a
So
lot of damage in. So,
So wrapping up the show,
but
want to get a few more comments from Retro Sports Gamer in here. He asks, "What do you think of the Polymega hitting their pre-order funding goal?" Um, I am hopeful that the folks that are doing the pre-orders and that are doing the funding to back this, I'm hoping that they don't come out of this disappointed. The Polymega, the website looks good, the kit looks good. It's pretty to me, it's kind of expensive for what it is. Looking at the different bundles and everything, I mean, it's cool that you can do NES, SNES, Genesis, TurboGrafx 16, Neo Geo, PlayStation, Saturn, Sega, Nintendo. That said, I think the Neo Geo is just Neo Geo CD. I don't think you can play the giant cartridges. I'd have to take a look. Can you play the giant cartridges, Retro Sports Gamer? Do you know that? Does it actually play the there's a power module for the NES. There's a super module for the SNES. There's a Genesis, a mega module, right, for the Genesis and the 32X. And then there's the TurboGrafx 16 version. Out of the box, it can play
Oh, it only
CDs.
does
So
CDs.
yeah, he retro sports gamer confirmed it's only the CDs. The NES version, I don't see a way to play Famicom games on that. So it looks like the NES version just um yeah, it's just NES North America and PAL. So if the NES module included Famicom, it's really kind of lame that it doesn't include Famicom. It'd be pretty silly if that was another module, since the emulation for it would be exactly the same, just about. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm torn. The idea is nice. A modular console that you can build to support all these things. Maybe later they would make a Neo Geo module that you could plug your Neo Geo games into. Maybe later things like Atari Jaguar, Coleco Atari, that kind of stuff. So I mean, it sounds cool, but what really has me bummed is that a lot of this is just their emulator boxes again at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
Retron 5 does most of this. If you've got a retro, if you have a retro freak, I don't think you necessarily need this. If you have a Retron 5, I don't think you necessarily need this. If you don't have either of those and you're open to emulation, I think that it's going to be more expensive than either of those options to get the breadth of games that you're going to want to play. But the controllers look like they're a much better step up from the Retron 5. I can't speak for the Retro Freak. I haven't used that controller myself. But these do look like quality controllers. Hopefully, their build quality and their feel and responsiveness holds up under extended play and use. It's easier to make a controller that looks good, harder to make a controller that feels good and feels responsive and that kind of thing. So hopefully they nail all these things. I've just been so flooded, I guess, with clone consoles that I'm a bit over it. I've played a couple of times through emulation on my television, and it I don't know. I'm still firing up the games on the CRT because it feels more genuine. That said, the I'd have to say about Nintendo Switch Online, I talked about earlier, I already have all the games and stuff.
Yeah.
I really enjoy. I feel like the Nintendo Switch, the games are as responsive as they should be. They play the way that I expect them to play. They feel the way I expect them to feel. So, I think emulation, when done right, can be a good thing. But I have yet to really play games in an emulator that were as responsive and held up as well as on the original NES hooked up to a CRT, for example, or Sonic on the Sega Genesis, for example, hooked up on a CRT. So um, Retro was stoked about it before they took out the built-in streaming to YouTube.
Oh, and
Um,
Twitch.
yeah, and Twitch. You know what? If they had left the built-in streaming to YouTube and Twitch, it would have been a pre-order day one purchase for me. Really, the only thing that they would have had, in my opinion, above and beyond, if you ignore for the time being the 32 that the Genesis module says that it supports 32X as well, which is cool. Um, and the fact that you have a TurboGrafx 16 module and a CD player, it's really hard to justify a Polymega if you've got a Retron 5 or a Retro Freak. It's really hard to justify. But
I mean,
if
honestly,
it replaces the need
removing.
to get a dedicated streaming box, that's you know what? Hey, that's actually now you're showing me something I haven't seen before. Still nervous, is this actually going to come out or be vaporware? But so I hope people that pre-ordered it get a really good quality product. I hope that that all my I don't want to say pessimism, but all my cautiousness turns out to be, unfounded maybe. But we just haven't had a lot of good history with these clone consoles and with emulation in general. Um, so he
And
also
then yeah,
says,
he
"Do you
also has
see Nintendo Switch getting Netflix, YouTube, Twitch, Hulu app for viewing?"
well,
I have to go back and look. I think they have Netflix. I don't remember.
yeah, I mean, and they
Maybe
did
they
it for
maybe
the
they
Wii
don't.
U.
But
I mean, this is just based off my experience. They did
yeah,
it off the Wii U, and it was pretty good. I'm not sure if they'd have it work. I'm not entirely sure if
if
they'd
they
have
don't
it.
already, I don't
I
know if
mean,
they will, and here's why.
there's because all the other consoles have their own streaming, and then there's a lot of streaming TVs now, a lot of apps on your phone and your iPad, a lot of streaming
Yeah.
boxes. So like they
There's a lot of stuff that streams right now. I'll be honest with you, with so many things that stream right now, I would
it's
rather
highly
Nintendo.
unlikely.
Yeah, if Netflix is gonna make the streaming app, I say go for it. If Hulu's gonna make the streaming app, I say go for it. If Nintendo is gonna invest any amount of time in the Switch, I don't want them. I don't to Crowded Addict's point. I don't want Nintendo themselves investing any effort in bringing these streaming apps to the Switch because I want them to focus on the games. I want them to focus
Yeah,
on the
focus on
system.
online multiplayer too, because from
Absolutely.
what Retro Sports
That's
Gamer
true.
is saying, like it's if you can't even message people with the online thing,
Yep.
like
And I do see what
what's the
you're saying.
point of online if you can't
Yeah,
even message anyone? Let me
I
guess, there's
agree.
no invite button.
I agree with that. I also do agree that Retro Sports Gamer, the screen on the Switch is a good size for portable viewing, but the
Yeah,
problem is most places that you'd want to view it, like if you want to view it on the bus or something like that, since the Switch doesn't have built-in cellular capabilities like the PlayStation Vita did, you're going to be hard pressed to actually use those apps on the bus or something. You'd have to tether to your phone, and the performance would
yeah.
not be all
So
that great. It's
you
not.
basically have to have Wi-Fi. I
Right.
mean,
Now, and if you have
you
Wi-Fi,
could
you're
play a
probably
game.
home or you're
Yeah,
somewhere that has a big TV where you can watch proper streaming in 1080p or 4K. So I'm with you. Like here's my deal. I would say if they came out with a new Nintendo Switch, like the new 3DS or whatever, if they came out with a new Nintendo Switch, that had like maybe a better screen or
like
better controls
maybe
or something, if they added
maybe a
cellular
Nintendo.
capability as an option, then I would say with like a 4G, 5G capability in the Switch, I think that having Netflix, Hulu, all that other stuff would make perfect sense. In the absence of that, my own my own personal take is that I would rather have Nintendo focusing on the games.
Yeah. So
So, but you can certainly hotspot it, but it depends on where you on where you live. Like in the Bay Area as
yeah,
well. You said the hotspot would be good in Chicago. Retro Sports Gamer, I agree. I think it would be decent here too in the Bay Area, but I think for all the rest of the country, it would be
like places like Utica, New York, or like North Carolina, or
parts of North Carolina,
places.
yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be a
parts
total
of North
dumpster
Carolina.
fire. Yeah, it'd be a total dumpster fire if
Yeah,
they did
total
which one.
dumpster fire.
I found a way to work that word into the show. So, folks, we're coming up on time. I want to
What
thank
a
you guys.
dumpster fire time can be.
I know. So, I'm feeling like it's time for another juice. What do you think, Thomas?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think it's
need a
time for I think
juice.
it's time for our fruit juice there. So we're gonna sign off and we're gonna continue our juice fast. We'll let you know next Tuesday or in a follow up episode how that went, if we went the whole 10 days and what happened. Um, I know that we were off topic for the first chunk of the show. Big surprise, right? Dash V going off topic.
Yeah,
But I hope that if for folks of you that haven't seen it, go ahead and do the rewind. I'm serious about just because we're a gaming show doesn't mean we can't talk about adult topics from time to time, like doing your taxes or eating healthy and that kind of stuff. I think, it's good to be a gamer, but it's also good to be really well rounded, which is something I didn't fully appreciate when I was younger. And to this day it still kind of hurts me from time to time. I can't really talk sports with some folks. I can't really, talk. I don't know how to like work on my car and things like that. But I can talk your ear off about games, right, and about technology.
And I
So
can talk anyone's ear off about just about anything.
so
Even politics,
yeah,
guys.
so step out of your comfort zone, learn new things, be open to learning new things. I think that's probably the greatest thing that video games ever taught me. Was video games taught me never give up. If you keep trying, you keep, you focus on what you did wrong, learn from your mistakes, keep trying. Eventually, you'll do better, 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 and you'll win. That's how you beat games like Ninja Gaiden. That's how you beat games like Blaster Master. That's how you find all the hidden areas in Super Mario 3. Games like Maniac Mansion taught you, even when you think you've tried everything, try some more stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because you probably did
It's
not try everything.
and then
So
things like Fortnite, where like Fortnite and Minecraft, there's always a different way you could approach the situation. Like if you're in
yeah.
Minecraft and there's a skeleton dungeon, you could either cheat and put it to peaceful and then loot it and then be a complete noob, or you can actually sneak in, throw down like a torch or two, leave, sneak back in when all the skeletons have despawned, and then loot it, and then destroy the skeleton spawner or turn it into a mob grinder.
So problem
Or in
solving.
Fortnite,
So yeah.
like try like land at the same building repeatedly, and like you'd be surprised how the battles can change. Like
Yeah.
from like Tilted Towers, the building next to L houses that me and Connor call training building. And sometimes we end up going to training building and we snipe noobs at L houses. Other times we go down to basketball court, then up to apartments, then up to
Sometimes they just drive golf carts up mountains. So folks, the
yeah,
key is there's no problem in doing what you love. But remember, the things that make you a good gamer are also the things that can make you a good, well-rounded person in real life. So when you're at work or you're at school or you're on Twitter or whatever, be looking, how do you solve problems? Be looking for, how do I learn more things? Have I made a mistake? Hey, it's not the end of the world. Can you learn from your mistake and do better and improve? I think the answer to that question is almost always
sniping
yes.
campers.
So take the lessons that you learn from gaming and see about how to apply those to the world, and you might be pretty surprised just how good of a worker you can be by applying some of the things that you've done to be a good gamer to your job. What a good friend you can be by taking some of the things you learned by being a gamer to your friendship. So I'll leave you folks with that note and sign off for the evening.
And before I say that, I just want to correct you, Retro Sports Gamer. Instead of sniping campers, you're going to be sniping bush campers. The guys, the noobs who are stupid enough to put on the bushes, those guys are great sniping targets. Like you see them, like you just see bushers with feet running around. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, time to get my sniper out. You're going down, bush noob.
That's those things. That bush camouflage should be vaulted. I feel, but
Yeah, it's gotta be
yeah.
vaulted.
So I am Dash V, and I have gone full house on your look. Everywhere you look, everywhere you go, there's a place, a heart, and a hand to hold on to. So, ah.